Mass looting and riots have rocked Papua New Guinea's capital, Port Moresby. The governor of the city said opportunists took advantage of events after police forces walked out following a dispute over lower pay. Government officials say the pay drop was an administrative error in the payroll system that affected all public servants and would be fixed. Protesters have called for the resignation of Prime Minister James Marape and even broke a fence down outside his office. Reuters reports that more than a dozen have been killed.
All right, this is the book of Luke, chapter 21, verse 9, and I'm going to read this in the AMP, which stands for the Amplified Bible, okay? All right, again, Luke 21:9 in the Amplified Bible version, all right? When you hear of wars and disturbances, civil unrest, revolts, uprisings, do not panic, for these things must take place first, but the end will not come immediately. I want to give all honor, all glory, and all praise unto Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders of the nation of Israel. Shalom to you brothers out there that are laboring, enduring the elements, making your body a living sacrifice, trying to seal the elect, making your call election assure, seeking out your own salvation, as well as you sisters that are learning, listening, applying, being obedient to your husbands. Shalom, shalom. It's the brother Zachariah coming back to you with another lesson on this gorgeous new moon day, man. So shalom again to you all, man. All right. And, you know, so much stuff is brewing. Things are happening. Things are intensifying out here in the world, you know, not just here in Babylon where, you know, I dwell, but, you know, all throughout the four corners of the earth, many different countries and stuff like that. Some of our Northern Kingdom brothers down there in Ecuador, they're going through some stuff, which I'm going to elaborate on this lesson here about. But before we get started on that, I want to turn my attention to something here real quick. Civil unrest meaning, okay, that's why I brought that scripture out, and I did it in the AMP, okay, and it says civil disorder, also known as civil disturbance, which you saw, it said disturbances in there. Civil unrest or social unrest are situations when law enforcement struggle to maintain public order or tranquility, okay. So you see, as plus with the video clip I put in the beginning, Papua New Guinea, all right, which, you know, I'll pull up some information on where that's located in case you may not be aware of that. I believe those are Japhites, if I'm not mistaken. I believe those are, they're Japhetic people, okay? You know, Japhet, one of the sons of Noah, he had the most sons, okay? And there are a lot of them, they're scattered out there in the Polynesian islands and things like that as well. But I wanted to bring out this civil disorder, you know, the meaning and stuff like that. And you can see like some of these pictures on here. And this is pretty much what you were seeing over there in Papua New Guinea. OK, you know, the stuff going on with the police. I think it was something that messed up their pay, or they had low pay. So they walked off the job. You know, they walked off the job, man. And that brings lawlessness because, you know, you could commit crimes and things, which we always say this is going to come to Babylon. This is going to come here to Babylon. It's going to be a global thing, actually, you know, because this is going to happen on a global scale. But we specify on Babylon because a big bulk of the Israelites are here in the Americas, man. Now, we are throughout the four corners of the earth, but a big bulk of us, you know, in the Bible, when it talks about Babylon the Great, it's talking about America, man. This is that sinful kingdom, man. So everything you see happening on a global scale, it's going to happen here. And see, this place has been unscathed, you know. They really haven't been touched. All those so-called things that happened, those were all, they were set up. And I truly believe the Pearl Harbor was as well, you know. Even if they did come over here, you know, Ammon and do what he did, you know, he had his reasons because, you know, Babylon, they were going out throughout the four corners fucking with people, man, like they do today. They still do. This is what they do, man. And now they try to justify. They have their media because, you know, you got phones and things and people are looking and watching and stuff. So now they have to set up something. They have to justify what they're doing, you know, make you seem like your stuff is wrong. And that's what the book of Habakkuk exposes him, how his, you know, he not the keeper at home. This nigga can't stay home, man. He has to go out, you know, fucking with everybody, all in everybody's business. You know, this man can't sleep. He can't rest, you know. And that's no way to rule. You know, you can't sleep. You constantly looking over your shoulder because you done so much dirt. You know, these nations hate you and now they're rising up, you know. So this man can't sleep. Okay. So that's why I wanted to bring that out. But we're going to go ahead and look at this here real quick. It's BBC News, okay, and it says Papua New Guinea, at least 15 dead after major rioting and looting. Okay, so 15 died, you know, so far, you know, and this thing, I think this is an ongoing thing, all right. It says a state of emergency has been declared in Papua New Guinea's capital after at least 15 people were killed in rioting. Okay, and there's a state of emergency also in Ecuador, which, like I said, we're going to get into that here in a little bit. All right, and Lord willing, this be edifying to you. We bring these things out just to show you, you know, we're being watchmen, but we're also showing you these things to show you how it's tied in with the Bible. You know, the Bible speaks of these things. The Heavenly Father spoke of these things. His Son spoke of these things. Okay? The men of the Lord, those that follow Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, they spoke of these things. Okay? And that's why these things are being brought out. All right, again, a state of emergency has been declared in Papua New Guinea's capital after at least 15 people were killed in rioting. More than 1,000 troops are on standby to step in wherever necessary. Prime Minister James Marape, if I'm saying his name right, said on Thursday. Okay, shops and cars were torched and supermarkets looted after police went on strike on Wednesday. See, so the police are on strike out there. Okay, over a pay cut. The authorities say was a mistake. See, so they made a mistake, but hey, you fucked with their money, man. They bread, their daily bread, man. So, you know, people going crazy. That's why I said this is going to happen to Babylon, because Babylon ain't felt nothing like this. Okay? The arrest follows wider tensions in the Pacific Islands. Okay? So, yeah, I think these are jet fights, all right? Pacific Islands nations over rising costs and high unemployment. Okay, see? Breaking the law does not achieve certain outcomes, Mr. Marape said in the national address. He announced a state of emergency in Port Moresby would last for 14 days, okay? While most of the violence had been curbed by Wednesday evening after soldiers were deployed and police resumed duty, the Prime Minister acknowledged that the situation was still tense, okay? The Port Moresby General Hospital confirmed 8 deaths in the capital, while other 7 people were reported to have died in the city of Lae, PNG's second largest, all right? The absence of police encouraged people from the capital's outskirts to ransack shops and cause wider destruction. So you see how quick things can turn just like that? Locals told the BBC. We have seen unprecedented levels of strife in our city, something that has never happened before in the history of our city and our country. National Capital District Governor Poes Parcope, or however you pronounce his name, said in a radio address on Wednesday, according to a Reuters news agency report. Okay, so you see that? All right. Now, I wanted to pull out some information just to show y'all, okay, where it's at, where this is located. You know, all right. Look like it's not far from Australia. All right. It says Papua New Guinea, all right, country in Oceania, all right. They even have their own sign language, all right? Port Moresby. I believe that's where some of that stuff was taking place at, all right? I guess. I believe those are Japhites, though, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but I think they're Japhites. Like I said, they got scattered out into them, a lot of those islands and stuff once Esau moved into Europe. Okay, they're their original Europeans. Okay. But going into how, you know what I'm saying, just easily, you know, they said it was a mistake with the pay cuts. Okay, and you see how the police began to walk off You know, and the next thing you know, that brought lawlessness. And you see how quick the people just started uprising, taking over, you know, looting and rioting and all that. You know, just that quick, man. Okay? The Bible speaks of these things, all right? But this is Ecclesiastes chapter 12, and I'm going to start at verse 3. And it says, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease, because they are few, and those that look out of the window be darkened. All right, verse 4, and it says, and the door shall be shut in the streets, and when the sound of the grinding is low, and he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. Okay, verse 5, also when they shall be afraid of that which is high, and fear shall be in the way, and the almond tree shall flourish, and the grasshopper shall be a burden, and the desire shall fail, because men go up to his long home, and the mourners go about the streets. Okay, those people are mourners. You know, they're like, hey, you messing up our pay. People, you know, you can't pay their bills. People going crazy. You know what I'm saying? You making pay cuts like that. You know, high unemployment rates. People are gonna snap. Okay, and then they start looting and stuff like that. Okay, so the scriptures speak of these things. All right, here's another one. We're going to go to the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 9. I'm going to start at verse 3. And it says, therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes, which we've been covering that. You're seeing earthquakes. They happening all over the world, man. All over the world. Okay, earthquakes. And this is the key part. Upwars of the people in the world. Okay, upwars. And you're seeing a lot of those upwars. All right, civil unrest and stuff. Okay, verse 4, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of these things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. Okay, so he spoke about these even in the beginning, before even things, you know, the creation and everything. He already had this thing laid out. This is his movie, you know. He's the director, and this is his movie, and it's being played out. Okay, as he said it. You know, the scriptures tell you that his words will not come back to him void. So everything he said and speaks, you know, it's coming into existence, into fruition. All right. All right, I also pulled up this word lawlessness, okay? And it says a state of disorder due to a disregard of the law, okay? And that's a disregard of the law. You know, these people, when they noticed that there wasn't really that many, because I think there were still some on the force, but there wasn't as many. So they had no regard of it. And they just went out. They went out there and did what they did, man. You know? This is going to come to Babylon, man. And this is why we're bringing this out, because this place has not seen something like this on this level. You know, now they had their little incidents. You know, they had back with Rodney King and stuff. And they had the stuff going on out there in L.A., you know. And then when the one guy, forget his name, they had the knee on his neck. I forgot his name now, man. Salakia for that. But, you know, they had the so-called BLM, but all that stuff was staged, okay? You know, but I believe the stuff out there with Rodney King, that was real. You know, Jake and them was going crazy over that. Them cops got away with that. They beat that man black and blue, man. But, yeah, a state of disorder due to a disregard of the law, all right? So this is heavy, all right? This is why, and there's also another scripture that goes into all this as well, which I'm going to bring that out. But before I do so, I want to jump into Ecuador, okay, which this is Israelite territory. These people, these are Israelites, man, okay? These are Israelites. And I believe Ecuador is, they are tribe of Asher, maybe? Thinking they're tribe of Asher, if I'm not mistaken. All right, but let's, we're going to go ahead and jump into this. And it says, Ecuador declares war on armed gangs after TV station attacked on air. Wow. This is crazy, all right? Ecuador's president has ordered that criminal gangs be neutralized after days of violence culminated in an attack on a television studio. Mass gunmen broke into public television channel TC's live studio during a broadcast, forcing staff to the floor. Police made 13 arrests following the attack, which injured 2 employees. At least 10 people have been killed since a 60-day state of emergency began in Ecuador on Monday. Wow. See, this is crazy, man. Yahweh said these things, man, you know, would happen, man, would take place. And, you know, like I said, in the men of the Lord, you know, they spoke of these things, all right? There's another article, and it's, you know, going into the same matter. It says more than 100 prison guards held hostage in Ecuador amid state of emergency. President Daniel Noboa said nationwide unrest is an internal armed conflict. Wow. See, is that unrest? You see that? All right. It says at least 125 prison guards and 14 administrative staffers were being held hostage in 5 prisons in Ecuador as nationwide civil unrest continued in the wake of President Noboa's declaring a state of emergency. The guards and staffers were being held by inmates in detention facilities in Azuay, Cañar, Tungurahua. I don't know how to pronounce that word. Okay. All right, the Interior Ministry said, all right, information about the hostages' health was not immediately available, but there wasn't yet an indication that any had been killed, said Administrative Jamie Vela, okay, head of the Armed Forces Joint Command. The hostage situation came amid widespread chaos and violence after Noboa declared a countrywide state of emergency on Monday. All right, you can see the pictures and all that. It says it's time to fight terrorist groups, Noboa said in Spanish on social media Wednesday. Okay, we will return peace to the Ecuadorian people. And you know, when they talk about peace and safety, man, it's just this thing gonna intensify, man. It's not gonna be no true peace, you know, because ultimately we got the wicked ruling over us. Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. You know, I wouldn't be surprised that they're the reason behind the whole thing. I don't know why this is saying no internet. Salakia, y'all. You know, Satan don't want this word getting out. You know, when, you know, you brother come out and start, you know, bringing out information and stuff that they want to come up and, you know, want to mess with your stuff. All right. But see, the scriptures speak of these things. All right. This is 2nd Ezra, the 15th chapter, and I'm going to start at the 14th verse. It says, woe to the world, which woe means destruction, and them that dwell therein. Okay, you see that? All right, I'm going to read a little bit of this. All right, verse 15. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another. You see that? You got these gangs on one end, and you got the armed forces on the other side of the Ecuadorian people clashing, you know? And it also tells you a nation divided cannot stand, okay? All this got to go down, because at the end of the day, even with our people down there, the Northern Kingdom, Esau's in control of all that, you know, because what he does to keep the people in check, he just puts he'll put a puppet in there, all right, somebody to do his bidding, okay, and if it'll look like the people and everything. Sometimes it could be a tear, you know, it might be a tear. I wouldn't be surprised if it's like someone they think it's an Ecuadorian, but it could be an Edomite. It could be an Edomite that has, you know, he has an Edomite father and an Ecuadorian mother, which is an Israelite woman, you know. It could be one of them things, and they'll put him in there because, you know, he gonna do what his people do, you know. But we got sellouts amongst our people, you know. The Bible tells you about wicked man found among Israel that had made covenants with the heathen. All right, so that would be no surprise as well, you know. But they do the bidding of Esau, man. They're not doing the bidding of yeah, and it don't benefit the people. That's why the people are always in mourning, you know. It says in scriptures, when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn, but when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. There's no rejoicing right now. If anybody's rejoicing about this kingdom, they through. You know, they're delusional. Their mind is gone. Okay? There's nothing good about this place, man. It's hell on Jake. You know? Shoot, you got Edomites that are complaining right now. And this is their time to rule. This is their kingdom. And they're complaining. Okay? All right. Again, verse 15 says, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hand. You see that? All right. Verse 16, for there shall be sedition among men. You see that? And invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their action shall stand in their power. Okay, this is Papua New Guinea. This is over here in Ecuador, and this is probably happening in other places right now. Maybe we just ain't even got any news coverage on it or articles or anything, but I'm pretty sure there can be stuff going on in other countries as well. All right, but even with these two incidents, it's just showing you, man, things are being amped up, you know, and not to mention the stuff going on over there in Israel, you know, and then with Palestine and stuff, you got people protesting worldwide on this thing, even if they're not of those people, of those nations. They're protesting and rioting and anger, you know, uproars. All right. Verse 17, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. You see that? That's going to be another thing too, because there'll be lockdowns and stuff like that, because, you know, they're going to have to try to maintain order. But this is also going to go into how they're going to put blockades on these cities. This is going to be something in Babylon too, man. You know, you ain't going to be able to go far, man. You ain't going to be able to travel. You know, I brought out some stuff how they was having the issues with them planes when I was doing my highways. You know, they had that one where that door came off. That's just showing you. Yahweh Shem showing you, man. That easy. They said the shirt off a kid, man, got sucked off of him, man. Being up there in the air like that with them, that door come off. Woo! Imagine, man, somebody could have, if they wasn't buckled in, they could have been sucked right out of that plane, man. It would have been a wrap. You ain't got no parachute. But a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. You're gonna see that, okay? All right. Verse 18, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. Okay. And a lot of these countries, even you know, our Israelite countries, they you know what I'm saying, they pushing that rainbow agenda as well, because, you know, like I said, Esau really is in control. He'll put a puppet in there, but they have those rainbow parades and all that. You know what I'm talking about. All right, they pushing that, and that's really when it comes to that pride, but just pride anyways, because the Edomites are proud people. They're full of pride. Okay, and our people are moving just like the Edomites, being prideful. Okay. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. Okay, so you see that? That's heavy, man. Like I said, the scriptures is on point with this, man. All right. Here's another one here. There's another article going into Ecuador. Like I said, it was a lot going on down there. All right. Soldiers patrol streets in Ecuador as government and cartels declare war on each other. See that?
Everyone's scared. Literally everything is shutting down. Like, gates are up, fences are up, everyone's going home. And the president just like announced essentially I don't know a nicer word than war.
Breaking news coming out as they're saying war has been officially declared in Ecuador, and there is a 60-day state of emergency. Take a look at the headlines coming out. The U.S. airlines cancel flights to Ecuador as this is wreaking havoc all over the entire nation. Now, Ecuador president declares war with criminal gangs amid soaring violence. Streets are empty as Ecuador reels from the violence. This all coming out today in the last 24 hours. Ecuador's state of emergency. Live blog, the latest updates. Ecuador's president has declared an internal armed conflict in the nation, and Ecuador president says the country is at war as gangs hold prison staff hostage. And take a look at this. Armed gang storms public TV station in Ecuador as they're saying they are wreaking havoc on the entire nation. Now, I'm going to give you all the latest details that have been coming out in the past 24 hours as Ecuador is saying they are in a state of emergency. War has been declared. So if you were planning on visiting Ecuador, looks like it's not going to be happening as the entire nation is under chaos right now.
All right. It says hundreds of soldiers patrolled near deserted streets in Ecuador capital Wednesday after the government and drug mafias declared war on each other. See, Bible speaks of wars too, leaving residents gripped with fear. All right. It says people will be afraid. I just read that in the previous scripture, man. Hey, it's showing you that all this is on point. All right. The small South American country has been plunged into crisis after years of growing control by transitional cartels who use ports to ship cocaine to the U.S. and Europe. Hey, and best believe Esau got his hand in it. You know, Esau wants that here so he can, the Israelites here, he want to get them all drugged up and stuff like that. But that's backfiring because his people are all into it, okay? President Noboa's 36. Hey, this guy younger than me, all right? And he's a president, all right? Gave orders on Tuesday to neutralize criminal gangs, which I read that in one of the other articles, all right? After gunmen stormed and opened fire in a TV studio, you seen that in the clip, and bandits threatened random executions of civilians, wow, and security forces. Less than 2 months after taking office, he declared the country in a state of internal armed conflict. You see that? That's heavy, man. The scriptures speak of these things, all right? This is the book of Matthew, chapter 24, and verse 20. Start at verse 6, and it says, "And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars." Okay, so you're gonna hear about wars. That's a war going on down there. He said that's an internal war, okay, within their country. Okay, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled. So don't be troubled. Especially this is for you that are in this truth, this understanding, this wise counsel of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Be not troubled, okay? For all these things must come to pass. So these things got to come to pass. But the end is not yet, because the end is not yet. We know Yahushai. We don't know the day, the hour, and all that, but we know that he's going to come around the time of World War III. And I'm talking about like when it's at its climax. They're fighting each other and stuff because it tells you that they're going to stop fighting each other to subdue the man that come out of the sea. Who's that man coming out of the sea? That's Yahushai. They're going to try to subdue him. So he's going to come around that time. But we know we can't name the day, the hour, or none of that. We just know the period, the type of, the event that will be taking place during his return. And that's World War III. When they're physically fighting each other, them troops from all the nations, okay? All right? And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass. But the end is not yet. See that? Okay? Verse 7. For nation shall rise against nation, see that, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes. Hey, told you about the earthquakes in diverse places. Okay, verse 8. All of these are the beginning of sorrows. So all these are the beginning of sorrows, mournings. Okay, you're gonna see a lot of this stuff take place, man, throughout the earth. All right, and this is also a thing, and we speak about this a whole lot. Okay. We speak about this a whole lot. You know, this is something that we call Jacob's trouble. Okay? This is Jacob's trouble. All right? Showing you that we're going to be here during the time of Jacob's trouble. You know, the Christians teach, oh man, we're going to get out of here. We're going to be with the Lord. They got the rapture that doctrine that they teach, you know, so they won't be here. Nah, Scripture says he that endured to the end shall be saved. And it even tell you that the elect are going to be scarcely saved. We're barely getting out of this thing. You know, that you'll hear some brothers have even said in their lessons, you know, hey, it could be one of them instances where like a missile coming down and it look like it's about to hit the city you in and everything, and you about to be done for, and a chariot might just swoop in and grab you, you know, right before that thing touched down. It could be one of them. It could be something just like that, man. You know, you got to hold out. All the way, you know, endure. Don't lose faith, even at that moment. You know what I'm saying? All right. Even if you do get taken out, hey, the Bible says, man, the dead will rise first. Okay. Maybe you just gonna be a casualty. You there, you know what I'm saying? But hey, dying in this truth while doing the work, holding on to Yahweh Shem Yahushai, you know, enduring to the end and all that, man. Hey, that's a blessing, you know. But there are going to be a lot of us that are not going to taste death, okay? So that's another thing, too, to think about. You might not be one of them, you know. But, you know, the whole thing about this is just, you know, enduring to the end, making your call and election assured, seeking out your own salvation. And then for us men that are going out on here laboring and stuff, you know, trying to seal the elect, man. You know, bid them back to the marriage, all right? Doing the work, all right? doing these videos and things like that to edify our people, you know, give them faith boosters. You know, I'm getting into now where I'm doing like the little artwork and stuff, you know, like some might be leery about the AI messing around with the artwork and doing all that. But I look at it like this, you know, when you know, any of these devices and these things and this technology, it's used for the bad against us. But yet we take it and we use it for good. Even when you look at these cell phones, we use these cell phones to do our videos, but we know these devices are used to monitor us, watch us, so, you know, keep us under surveillance and stuff. They're watching us through these. They could watch us through your TVs, your laptops, all that, you know. But what do we use them same devices for? Doing the work, okay? So we can use that artwork to put out stuff to edify the people and keep them aware of what's going on right now. Okay. Yeah, to keep us alert, Salakia, for that. Landlord was giving me something he wants me to give to the plant manager at my job. He used to work at my job, so he gave me something to give to her or whatever tomorrow, you know. But anyways, you know, man, we're in some heavy times, you know. I mean, we're really in some beautiful times, you know, to be honest with you. You know, us that are in this truth, in this faith, man, you know what I'm saying? We see these things amping up, and it's like, man, we're getting closer and closer to Yahweh Shai's return, man. And Lord willing, we be of that number, okay? It's really, really heavy, man, because, you know, you look at your life and everything, man, sometimes I even say, I feel like, man, I don't even deserve to call on the names, man. It's just like, man, you know, but him to wake us up and stuff like that, and even though, you know, friends have turned on you, family turn on you, you gain a family. Your real family are those in this truth. Those brothers that show love and support to you, man. They correct you when you're wrong, you know, and they're not doing it publicly in front of everybody to make you look bad. You got brothers that might just hit you up and like, hey, man, you're going off and stuff. You know, that's really where it's at. You know, now you got some that do it for show, because, you know, Israel like a good show. You know, Israel don't watch these lessons. It's like it for that truck going by, man. But you know, they look for controversy and noise and conflict. You know, they look for that. They don't look for these videos like what we're doing, trying to edify the people, man. You know, and that's crazy, you know, but that's all how our people are. And I understand that, you know, but, you know, hey, you know, it's a blessing for those that got, you know, ears to hear and eyes to see, you know, and their hearts are set in the right place, and they're looking, you know, to be edified. You know, they're looking for those type of lessons. They're not looking at who's got beef in the nation today. You know, who doing back and forth videos on each other. You know, I saw something where this one camp, there were some guys that was part of this camp, and you know, I'm not gonna put out their names or nothing like that, but it's just these, and it was shocking to me because it was like, wow, them guys been together for years, and then some guys just, you know, they felt a difference in the doctrine, which is crazy because they've been in the thing for a long time. Like, I've watched videos, old videos of them, and they have a difference in doctrine now, you know, and they have left. But the guys that are still maintaining the doctrine, you know, they're like, look, we're not going to go back and forth. I'm not going to say nothing about them. Hey, it was a difference, a disagreement. They went their way, they're teaching, but we're going to keep going. We're not going to go back, because it'll just be a back and forth. And he says, and people can't get edified off that. And I felt that, you know, you ain't going to go back and forth. Now, you know, there's things that I might bring out. Like if somebody come up against me and try to like slander my name or something, I'm going to stand, because, hey, sometimes that's all you got out here is your name, man. And you got to stand on that. When somebody's out here trying to slander and say your name, yeah, you got to stand your ground, you know. Now, some things you could just let this go and keep it moving, you know, because at the end of the day, your works and stuff, like, especially if somebody make an accusation that you're not a man of the Lord, but yet you're out here consistent and you're doing the work, you're doing videos, and you're not paying them guys no mind. You let your work do the talking, okay? Because you're doing the work of the Heavenly Father, all right? And he's gonna eventually shut those guys' mouths, you know, and put them to shame. Okay. But okay, sorry about that. I didn't want to try to get off topic or nothing, you know. But hey, it's heavy, man. All right. But so something is Jacob's trouble. All right. Jacob's trouble is it's gonna be something like never seen before, man. This is like Purge on steroids. Okay. It's gonna be heavy, you know. And you're getting glimpses of it with Papua New Guinea. The stuff happening in Ecuador, And there's many other places, you know, like I said, that might not even be televised or put in articles. You know, this thing can be happening in other countries that we don't even know about. Okay? But Yahweh Bashim Yahushua said these things is going to take place. All right? This is Jeremiah 30 and verse 7. All right? And I can end it on this. And it says, alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. Okay? Who is this he? This is the 12 tribes, okay, of Israel. All right? Those of the elect, okay? They're going to be saved out of it. All right? You so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, you know, those that are Israelites that may look like the other nations, okay? You've been scattered, all right, throughout the four corners of the earth, you know. You're going to be saved out of it. So you shouldn't fear, you know. When you wake up to this truth, man, this is a beautiful thing, all right? You know. This is all we got, man. We gotta hold on tight to this, man, because knowledge and wisdom is gonna be the stability of our times. All right, we're in some beautiful time. I mean, it's some dark times coming, but like I said, but at the same time, it's beautiful because we, in order for our kingdom to come, this place got to fall, and you're gonna see some dark and ugly things, and it's gonna intensify. But like I said, that's gonna sustain us, you know. Hearkening unto Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, keeping his law, statutes, and commandments to the best of your abilities, you know, okay? So, Lord willing, you found this lesson here edifying. I want to give all honor, all glory, and all praise unto Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua, Bahashim Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders of the nation of Israel, and shalom to you brothers and sisters out there. Until the next one, shalom.